Hey, yeah, I know. It's been a while. It's been a really crappy and busy year. Anyway, I have indulged in my passion for the first time in, well, quite a while actually. And, well, guess what I have in the truck? Actually, I have two somethings. So, does anybody make any guesses what this is? I have one already. That doesn't help, I know. How about this one? Quite a bit bigger. Oh, you know, weighs about 1,800 pounds. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Look vaguely familiar? No? So, I have a friend, well, an acquaintance really, who is moving to Belgium. And he had these things. In fact, he got these two from the same guy I got mine from. And I had to get rid of them. So it was find somebody to take him or take him to the dump, which, you know, I simply couldn't let happen. Unfortunately, he lives in Indianapolis. So I left at 5:30 in the morning 2 days ago, and then I got back at 6 in the morning yesterday. And technically, I lost about 7 hours in there, but this took a while. I had to borrow a Penske truck, a Renster Penske truck, with a lift gate on the back, just to lift it from the guy's ground level to the back of this truck. This is my father-in-law's Dodge Dually. This is what we usually bring these things back in. I was supposed to take an enclosed trailer, but we discovered the day we were leaving that the bearings were completely shot in it. Okay, time's up. What is it? Well, that's one. I have myself a second E10000. I know, that sounds ridiculous. This is a SGI Onyx rack, one of the Terminators. However, it's what's called a test rack. And this is one of the prototypes from SGI. And there's not actually that much that's very interesting about it, so it must have been very late life, aside from some cuts in the chassis. And, well, the reason that I haven't fired the E10K up is really because I'm afraid if I do, I'm going to kill something, especially after what happened with the SGI Onyx 2s. And I only have one E10K, and I don't have enough spare parts, so if I blow a couple line drivers, I'm kind of screwed, that's it. But my problems are over, because not only do I have a full second set of pieces, those are blanking plates from the SGI, but I have 48 volt power supplies. They go all the way around and come all the way around over there. I have like 20 of the damn things. They only need 8 to run the system. I've got a whole bunch of the line drivers. That only needs 4. I've got, 9? Fan packs coming out my ears. Some on top, over here, down the bottom. All the SCSI cables, more fan packs, more of the 48 volt power supplies. I've got some of the 3.3 and the 5 volt supply boards. No, I'm sorry, that's the supervisor board. These are the 5 volt, 3.3 volt boards. So, oh, and there's a crack in the concrete, I about killed myself. I finally have spare parts. This is good. We did have one minor accident, thanks to the truly diabolically shite roads in Indiana, where I hit a pothole the size of a 5-gallon bucket. That's a 5-gallon bucket. And one of the doors flipped clean out of the back of the truck. And I had it held up with wind resistance and some minor strapping. Clearly not enough. I appreciate that is my fault. The door went completely up and over. But that's not this door. That door, and keeping in mind this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, I haven't slept in forever. I'm absolutely exhausted. And I've been driving for hours and hours and hours. I started backing up the interstate to try and find it. And I could see something in the road. And I went, oh, it's in the road. As long as nobody hits it, I'll get to it and I'll pick it up. And then I hit something with the truck. And what I'd done is, what I identified in the road was the filter material that sits up behind these panels. I've got them, well, they're over there right now in this box. The filter material had come out and landed in the middle of the interstate. So what I was looking at was the filter material. What I hit with the truck was the other door. So I completely shattered all of this beautiful plastic molding off, folded it into a U shape. I kind of left it there. I blame the state of Indiana so they can clean it up. This one's my fault. This one I restrapped everything. Let's try that again. I had that moment from True Lies, you know. Batara, batara. Kind of should have checked the battery before I started recording. And that is allegorical for every time I tried to do a video this year. Something has gone wrong. But enough whining. Where was I? Oh yes, this one's my fault. So I restrapped everything. Apparently not quite well enough. And just as I was passing, oh, where the hell was it? Between Cedar Falls and Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I looked out the window and noticed that this door was hanging out at a 45-degree angle. So I pulled over and I fixed it, and I had it tucked in and I wedged it, and about 3 minutes later, off it went. So this one, yeah, molding's kind of gone and it's a bit dinged up here, unfortunately. Skins were not really the point. I've got two good doors, matching doors no less, although that one's upside down right now. Not without some bug splatter, it must be said. And I've got the big curvy one, and this is the original skin, and it's not great. This is not my fault. This is like this. This E10K came from the Target Corporation, which for those who are not Americans, I'm sure you've all heard about Walmart. Target's the same kind of store, but with people that have a full head of teeth. And it was donated to Purdue. So both of these actually come from the same place that my E10K and my SP2 came from. Anyways, let me throw this down, and I'm going to go climbing up there. And we'll rip the shell off, I think. You'll have to ignore copious shots of my own butt. Oh dear. Got wet. There we go. Test rack number 5. Mine does not have this honking great cutout with this wonderful warning tape. Oh, poor little sad thing. There it is. So, back up again. Some of you may remember, big fan at the top, front VME cage. We've got J-Bod trays, so this is disc box number 1, disc box number 2, actually it might be backwards. I couldn't fit the second disc box in here because when I found it, I'd already got everything loaded and I couldn't fit it like between the rim of the truck, so it just stayed. Disc boxes are not particularly exciting, to be honest, although having the mid-plane is very useful. We've got power supply bays that's full of this godforsaken foam. This dude's power supply, like the first time he fired it up, the daffy thing caught fire on him. Oh, I like this. I didn't see that. Hang on a second. Leave my drives alone. Number 5. I'm sure there's a short circuit joke in there somewhere. So, test rack number 5. And I put some of the boards in there. They're not hooked to the mid-plane because I didn't want to crack anything, obviously. But I didn't have any space because on the inside of the truck, and I'm not sure if the light will allow it, that's where all of the node boards are for the E10K. Actually, some of them. So not only does this thing have a full complement of node boards, but I think there's either 4 or 6 spare as well. So I now have node boards coming up my ears too, which is real handy. I have them all removed on the far side. I popped these ones in because we ran out of space in the cab. However, I made sure that they were engaged so there was no chance of cracking the mid-plane, because the mid-plane is the really important part of the system. Obviously no mid-plane, no boards. And finding replacement mid-planes is damn near impossible unless you're willing to pick up an entire machine like I did. In 2000, or maybe it was 99, a replacement mid-plane cost $550,000 for just the friggin' mid-plane. So that kind of gives you an idea of what these things are worth. Anyway. Oh look, more fan packs. And no driver modules, they were all pulled out thankfully. Made this a whole lot easier to roll around. And I say that facetiously because it was still a bitch to move. Where was I? Oh yes. So we have VME cage front and back. Most of the breakouts are removed, but we've got memory boards, some of the reality graphics boards, some processor boards, some of the mezzanine boards with the breakouts on it, spud trays, cables, and then some of the wiring crap. It's kind of unfortunate to dump the rack because obviously it has some import, test rack number 5, and it's all over it, but I haven't got the space to store it. And what I need is a working SGI. The thing that's wrong with my SGI is that one of the fans is gone. The one that happens to be over the processor and memory board and graphics card cage. Now, I'm going to run this from memory, but I'm pretty sure this is right. So you had the power boards up in the front, so this is them here. So that takes the line voltage, which gets converted to, I think, 48 volts down here. And then these convert it to the 5 volts, 3.3 volts, whatever, that goes back here and drives these main boards. And there's a second VME cage down here, and this one does have it, and that's used for accessory boards. Some racks didn't even come with a secondary cage. But the fans, so there's one over here which I showed you, and then the second one is up behind this plate here. One of these fans is gone. So, now they are reversible, but you either lose fan over the power supplies, and you can see by the size of the sinks how much heat they dump, or over the graphics cards. So either way I'm screwed. I need both fans, and there are only these 2 fans. And so one fan means the system will run for 5 minutes, you know, it might get up to post and then, or to login prompt in IRIX, and then that's all she wrote. It cooks itself to death. Well, actually, it politely shuts itself down because it's smarter than I am. But I now have, I hope, 2 working fans, which means that I can fire up my Onyx. These also have some nicer memory boards than mine, and it also has some nicer processor boards than mine. Mine only has a single processor board with, I think, quad processors. So I've got a whole bunch of extra stuff here, which is really handy. None of the boards are particularly interesting, at least the main boards. There is a sound card, which is kind of cool, and then there's some kind of graphics interchange card, which lets you hang a whole bunch of additional monitors off it. That's what these connectors are here. I'll inventory those later. So, bit of hope. After I strip the racks down and then recycle the frames, well, I better turn something on, didn't I? Anyways, I know. Just don't even say it. Some jackass said, "Oh, the channel's dead." Ah, bite me. The channel's not dead. I'm just busy. Computers. I'm still here. I'm still sick and broken. I will catch you guys next time. Thank you very much for sticking about. I really appreciate it. Take care.